If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos. The Skinwalker in the Navajo legend is shrouded with fear. Just the name terrifies people to not speak of them in the regular conversation for fear of repercussions. What are Skinwalkers? According to Navajo legend, a Skinwalker is an evil shapeshifter who has the power to transform or possess any animal of their choosing. Sometimes, if a Skinwalker is powerful enough, may even control the person. The Navajo Skinwalker legend: signs of a Skinwalker, how to become a Skinwalker, how to kill a Skinwalker, remedies against witchcraft. Continue reading to learn more about the Navajo Skinwalker. The Navajo Skinwalker legend. Image credit: Legends of America. In Navajo lore, the existence of the Skinwalker is largely believed but refused to be talked about in public for fear that the Skinwalker will seek those who talk about them. The Navajo believe that Skinwalkers practice black magic, which is highly tabooed in Navajo culture, and that they walk at the dusk of the day depending on how brave one is, or at night, where they roam freely among the Navajo tribe. The term Skinwalker is more commonly known to outsiders. In Navajo culture, Skinwalker is actually translated to Yi Naldushi, which means, with it, he goes on all fours, or he that walks like an animal. According to the Navajo, a Skinwalker can be of either gender, is a shaman or a witch, and can shape-shift into animals using dead animal skins. The people who choose to become Skinwalkers are of pure evil and chose to use their power to instill fear, inflict pain, and for the right price even cause the death of certain individuals. Often, these Skinwalkers usually seek out to increase their own wealth and the insatiable lust for power. So sometimes they create deals with healers to charge the victim a fee, where the Skinwalker and healer then split the earnings. Skinwalkers are humans who possess immense supernatural power, including the power to transform into any animal they desire. According to the legend, these evil beings have the choice to choose any animal they desire, but their most common animal forms are fox, goat, owl, coyote, cougar, dog, and wolf. The most readily available pelts are that of the dog, coyote, goat, and sheep. Now, the pelt of the wolf, dog, and coyote gives them increased stamina, acute nocturnal vision, enhanced hearing, enhanced sense of smell, and endurance to travel across long distances greater than normal animals. The pelt of a cougar grants the user great speed, agility, and stealth. The form of an owl or crow grants the user with increased vision, razor-sharp claws, and the ability to fly without alerting people of their presence. In Navajo culture, it is taboo to wear any animal pelts. The only recorded use of hides is from two animals: the pelt of a sheep and the buck, male deer, which are both used only for ceremonial purposes. However, there is only one pelt the Skinwalker is unable to use, and that is the pelt of a goose. Some say that it could be the attitude of the bird that blocks the path to use the pelt. Geese are also great alarms to alert those from nearby Skinwalkers. It is talked about that powerful Skinwalkers have the power to steal the body of their victim by only locking eyes with them. The Skinwalker can control that person and become them at will. Once it controls you, it has complete control and has the power to make the victim do things they normally wouldn't do. However, the victim can break out of the trance by having a stronger willpower than the attacker. The Navajo seldom talk about Skinwalkers and also refuse to talk about them at night for the fear that one might appear to them, as they believe if you talk about them, then they will appear to you. A Skinwalker may try to frighten, harm, or kill its victim by trying to break into their home, hogan, by taking advantage of the small opening above that provides ventilation by using corpse powder, dried human bones. Corpse powder is known in the Navajo community to cause sickness and death, and it is used by witches or Skinwalkers to curse their victims. PG.222-224-15 Signs of a Skinwalker. Abandoned Skinwalker pelt. Skinwalkers are frightening creatures that stalk, frighten, and kill any person who crosses its path. Before encountering a Skinwalker, people are often unprepared and vulnerable when someone encounters one. Some signs of a Skinwalker are finding dead animal pelts surrounding the area, including the very heavy smell of dead animals, while some describe the smell metallic and unpleasant to the senses. When stalking or trying to frighten their victim, Skinwalkers tend to make strange noises like banging on the walls and windows of the hogan, a traditional Navajo hut of logs and earth, knocking on the door, scraping the hogan, and jumping on the roof to try and get inside the hogan. These are signs of a skinwalker trying to get a hold of its victim. While all this happening, it is advised to not look outside the window. As you might see the skinwalker standing outside the window, looking inside, staring at you with its red or yellowish glowing eyes. If you happen to catch a glimpse of their face, you will notice a creepy smile that stretches from cheek to cheek. 2. How to become a skinwalker. As I was learning about skinwalkers and discovered what they are, I wondered how one becomes a skinwalker. I then did some more research. So, how to become a skinwalker? To become a skinwalker, one must commit the most horrendous crime: the murdering of a close relative. The person who desires to be a skinwalker must have the heart of pure evilness to the core, that it cares for nobody but itself. At night, skinwalkers tend to gather in dark caves where they can't be seen to either plan their attacks or initiate new members. In these gatherings, they have feasts of their victims, create illness potions of their victims' bones. Also, they perform dark ceremonial rites that mock the traditional Navajo ceremonies. When on the Navajo reservation, one can look out into the mountains in the distance and sometimes see a lone fire. Now, I must add that being a non-Navajo does not exempt one from the powers of the skinwalker, along with the witchcraft that comes with it. 6. How to kill a skinwalker. The skinwalker is described as being extremely fast, agile, and near impossible to catch. Attempting to shoot or otherwise kill the skinwalker is usually unsuccessful, and the skinwalker itself may even seek revenge for the attempt on its life. Now, how do you kill a skinwalker? According to Navajo legend, the way to kill a skinwalker is to use silver bullets or dip the bullets into white ash. Another option is to know the identity of the skinwalker, and one must say, "Real name of the skinwalker, you are a skinwalker." The Navajo say within 3 days, the skinwalker will fall terribly ill and die. Also, to successfully defeat one, you will probably need the aid of a powerful shaman who knows counterspells that will counter the skinwalker's black magic. However, often these shamans charge a large fee if one decides to go this route. If one decides to go the route of shooting a skinwalker, the person attempting to shoot one sometimes finds their gun jammed, and if the rounds do fire, they do not affect, only if the bullets aren't silver or have been dipped in white ash. When trying to kill one yourself, you must aim above the neck and for the head while it's still in animal form. If you shoot anywhere below the neck, then the bullet will pass through the skinwalker, leaving it unharmed. I must add, if you wound a skinwalker, then that wound will show up in its human form, making it easier to identify who is a skinwalker. Lastly, if you decide to go the route of finding out the skinwalker's name, then that will be more challenging. Skinwalkers are reputed as being highly secretive. It is said that to kill a skinwalker, one must learn its name, track it back to its home, and yell the name for all to hear. Once this is done, the skinwalker will soon die of a disease or misfortune. In Navajo culture, it is understood that he or she who becomes a skinwalker has chosen evil over life, and at this point is no longer protected by law and may be killed at will without any consequences. The person who decides to go through and become a skinwalker will then give up their claim as a human being. If one ever encounters lone animal tracks, it is said that you must walk over them and not step on them, as it's bad luck. 3. Remedies against skinwalker witchcraft. One should always go to a good medicine man who knows a lot of knowledge on how to remove and cast the spell back to the skinwalker. When the spell is removed from the victim, she has the option to have it sent back to the skinwalker. The skinwalker witch will then be liable to the effects of her evil magic. In most of the anti-witching spells, a good medicine man can bring up the face of the witch and will then be able to tell the witch that they have been exposed. Seeking a good medicine man to advertise skinwalkers is of the utmost importance. A good medicine man will be able to create a barrier surrounding the house where the person intends to keep the skinwalkers away. However, one thing a person can do is get ash from a fire you create and place the ash along the doorway to keep skinwalkers away.